Good morning, guys. It's a beautiful fall day and towards the end of October in Oklahoma here. Going to be a high of right around 80, and the low was only, I think, 58. So, going to go out and get a little ride in. I got a few subjects I want to talk about today. First one's going to be why I haven't been posting in the last week and a half or so. Been pretty busy. We'll talk about that a little more. Second one, not sure if I've really mentioned it, but I'm kind of shopping and debating on buying a couple new bikes. We'll talk about that. And then the last one will probably surprise a lot of you, especially people that know me well. It's something I didn't ever plan on doing, but finally just it was time. So anyway, let's talk about the first subject. I've been extremely busy the last week and a half, actually 2 weeks, but I've gotten a couple videos out there. But I need to get more on a schedule, and I'm going to try to do just one video a week. I've got a ton of content from our trip that I need to get posted, but it's a lot of watching and editing and stuff like that, so it's taking me a little bit. I've got a few other projects that I want to get out there, and I've got Ashley's first solo long ride that she did all by herself, all by her lonesome, nobody with her. I've got that to do too, so got a few things going on here that I need to get out there for you guys. Second, so I've been really thinking about another bike or two in the next by next spring. So I'm really missing having a cruiser. A lot of you sport bike guys are like, oh, fuck that, getting old, whatever. I've had cruisers all my life, just like I've had sport bikes, just like I've had dirt bikes, whatever. I love them all. And this is the first time I've been cruiserless for about a year. I bought this CB to try and kind of take the place, and it just doesn't do it. I mean, it's a fun bike. It's definitely got its place. I love riding it, especially when we were out in South Carolina and Tennessee. I mean, perfect cruiser, my version of cruiser for those kind of roads, right? And then obviously Super Sport is definitely when you want to get on it out in those kind of roads. So, thinking about getting another Heritage Softail or something like that. Customize a little bit, make it my own. And the next bike I want to get is I want to get a new Super Sport. So I really want the new Triple R, but the reviews and the reports and watching what people have had to do to get the power out of them and stuff, I mean, you're going to have 40 grand in that bike by the time you've actually got it the way you want it. Or the way I want it. Maybe not the way you want it, but the way I want it. I mean, I want its full potential out of it. So, I'm really throwing that around. But then I'm also looking at, I've always loved the RSV4. Now, any of you that know, I bought a 15 RSV4, and it's one of the first bikes I did any videos on. And I love the power of it. I love the looks of it. I mean, I just absolutely love the way they look. But I didn't like the way it handled. Now, it was not the factory version, so it had the Sachs suspension on it, or however you pronounce it. And it might have needed rebuilt. I mean, who knows what the deal was. It just didn't handle as good as the Hondas do. It didn't give you that feeling of confidence in the corners. Now, watching reviews, the new one, the 2021 model, they say handles just like the Honda. They said as far as the way it corners and stuff, it feels the same, gives you the same confidence. And it's got better, more linear power. It's got it sounds awesome, the V4. I mean, obviously it looks awesome. So I'm really still debating on buying another RSV4. Now, I've also thought about the S1000RR, but it seems like everybody's buying them lately, and I don't like to be that same guy, right? I like to have something a little different than what everyone else has. So, that being said, You guys let me know what you think down in the comments, what I should do there. Another bike I'm looking at is the Africa Twin. We all know what it does. It can go off-road some. It can crush some big miles on the highway. It's an adventure bike. I love the way the red, white, and blue and gold look together. I like the bike. I'd probably buy it instead of a cruiser if I did do that. But would I take it off-road to really justify buying an ADV bike? So I look at that and go, well, maybe I should just get a cruiser, because I can buy a cruiser cheaper, a really nice one, cheaper. Because Harleys, you can buy a few-year-old Heritage Softail for half price of new almost. And they don't have hardly any miles on them because a lot of guys are just weekend warriors, So Africa Twins are the same way, though. I've been looking at them too, but the thing is, I really want cruise control on my next bike. So that's another reason I'm really leaning towards the RSV4. I know it's got cruise control. The new Africa Twin has cruise control. The older ones do not, so the used ones don't have it. Now, Harley's Cruisers have cruise control quite a few years back, so that's one of the things that I'm looking at. And then I'm looking at, if I do go off-road, do I want a big, heavy adventure bike? Or do I want to buy a dual sport or an enduro bike and make it street legal by putting the right lights and stuff on it? Or what do I want to do? Now, the reason I'm saying an enduro bike over the dual sport is I really want to stick with a 450 if I go with that size or with that style of a bike. Now, the 450 RL is basically the motocross or enduro bike with lights and fans, which that's pretty cool. But you can buy the fans, separate and put them on your bike. So I'm really kind of leaning towards the 450X just because it's still got the wide ratio transmission, but it's it's geared a little more off-road. And I mean, when I'm going to go off-road, it's going to be mostly off-road. I mean, I might only drive on the road for a minute just to get to where I'm going. I'm not going to take it on any long highway rides because that's what I want the cruiser for, right? So anyway, it's kind of my dilemma. You guys let me know what you think. I mean, I kind of already know I'm getting a Super Sport, right? So which one? The RSV4 or the CBR? Now I could get a holdover 19 CBR RR SP for really reasonable. They're at like $14,000, and there's a few of them left pretty close to me. That's half price of the new Triple RSP. But it doesn't have the same horsepower and stuff like that. It does have the same suspension. Maybe not the same chassis and stuff. I mean, it's a different bike. It's the old version, but it's cheap. Or I could just get a new 2021, 22 model, regular double R, set my suspension up just like I did on my 09 and call it good. So, and save some money. So like I said, let me know what you guys think on that subject. Now, the last subject that's going to surprise you guys. I actually sold my Fireblade. I said I never would. I was always going to keep it, fog it, put it in my music room or whatever, and just keep it as a collectible, right? But I'm getting to the age where I kind of want to be able to just go and travel. So I don't need all this extra stuff laying around, sitting around, whatever. So I want to try and get some bills paid off, get debt free, and be able to start traveling. Now my plan is to load up the bikes in my trailer, hook them behind the motorhome, and go places and stay and possibly work camp to get a little extra money and stuff and meet other people, and then just ride the areas and then move on and travel all over. I mean, United States, Canada, maybe even into Mexico, we'll see, You know, I mean, the United States and Canada is a lot of places to travel. So anyway, that's why I sold my Fireblade, because I know I'm going to get a new one, or a new Super Sport, and I don't need all these bikes, I don't need all this insurance. Any of you that actually carry insurance on your Super Sport bikes, which I always do, know that, stray dog, know that full coverage on a Super Sport is expensive. Even when you're as old as I am, it's expensive. Now, I can't imagine being 21, 22 years old and owning a Super Sport right now. I mean, insurance would be freaking crazy. I've seen some people post where they want like $3,000 to $5,000 a year for insurance on a Super Sport. So that's crazy. I think my CBR it had dropped some since I'd bought it, because I mean, I'd had it for many, many years, but I still think it was like $50 some a month or something like that for full coverage. So they're not cheap. So that's why I sold it. Was it a sad day? Yeah. But I'm happy it went to the guy it went to. So the guy that bought it's actually older than me. He's a dirt bike rider. Only owned dual sports for riding on the street. And he rode it around the night. He took it home, and he called me after he got home and was like, "Oh my God, it's everything you said it was. I love it so much. It's the best thing I've ever done." He goes, "I can't believe I didn't do this sooner," and he just loves it. So he's in love with the bike. So that's good, and I might even try to get some video of him riding with me on it. So we talked about going riding together, because he hasn't really ridden on the street much and know any of the good roads around here. So I offered to take him out and about. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. And you guys let me know in the comments what you think I should do as far as a bike. I'm going to add one more little thing in there. Is I'm trying to get Ashley, she kind of wants a track bike, so we're going to try and get her into another bike along with her CB500 also. And we'll probably get a little bigger bike for her track bike, just because she could ride a bigger bike right now on the street, but she's not ready to buy another street bike. She wants to just ride her CB500 for a few years and have fun with it. So anyway, so she'll probably be getting a new bike too. You guys let me know what we should be looking for her. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do for her, and it might be kind of gay in most people's eyes, because if I get an RSV4, I'd love for her to get an RS660. I mean, yeah. So we both have Aprilias. But we both got Hondas now, right? We both got Honda CBs. Who cares? So anyway, that's it for my ranting. You guys let me know in the comments. Like I said, adopt, don't shop. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Ride safe, everybody.